We're going to take a look at the way paragraphs are handled on the web. And you can see here, I've just got highlighted one of the paragraphs on the screen, which is therefore shown as this blue top and bottom. Brackets automatically does that. It shows the margin around things. And this is the margin that is put there by the web browser. So the web browser by default, whenever you put a paragraph tag in, gives you this space between each of the paragraphs, allowing you to see very clearly and easily that that is a paragraph. That's sometimes done in books and magazines, not always though. There are other ways of doing this exact same thing. So let's take a look at this and the different ways in which we can do paragraphs and work with them. And one of them is to do, as this title has suggested here, text indenting. So let's go into the CSS for this. And let's just look at the paragraph of this. We were looking at alignment last time. So all I'm going to do here is take off the margin that exists around there. Now, just by doing that, now it's much more difficult to see where one paragraph ends and the next one begins. But actually, this is much more like what you would find in something like a magazine or a book. They don't often have big breaks between the lines. So if you wanted to get that same sort of effect, what we often see is that the first paragraph that we get underneath a subheading, such as this, ends up with it being kind of to the side here where it is currently, and then the next paragraph that might appear afterwards will have an indent, so we can see that it's kind of indented and therefore it exists. So how do we do that? How do we create that so that it only exists after that first one? So we use the plus selector on this, and what this means is that when there's a paragraph, the next immediate paragraph that exists after that gets this. So anything that's a secondary paragraph, second, third, fourth, this will apply to. And all we do here is use the word to text indent, and we'll put in 1.5 m. And now we can see that everything that's a secondary paragraph gets the indent placed in after it. And that therefore makes it much more like you would find on a book or in a magazine. This one here happens to look particularly bad just because we can't always specify exactly how wide our page will be. And it just so happens that around the world, it's just not breaking a good point there. And we can see that changes. So the other thing that we could say about the web is it's very difficult for us to specify exactly where a line is going to end. But there we can see there's text indenting on the web, and you can apply that as a different way of working with paragraphs.